All right, let me start with last night's game. Jags handled the Titans 20-7. Seemed like everybody was playing nice on the Jags side of the field. The odds were pretty good that this game was going to be ugly on Thursday night, and this matchup normally is. You had a driving rainstorm, so we had no chance. Then, on top of that, the officials stepped in. So much so that Tom Brady stepped in. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, they didn't hesitate to call out the lack of flow in the game. This is what I was complaining about the first 2 weeks. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to watch the game because there's no flow. I realize you can call holding on every play. I'm not expecting you to call holding on every play. Brady took to Twitter and said, I can't watch anymore. Offensive holding calls up over 60% for the first 2 weeks. And it seems like the officials want that trend to continue into week 3. Although I will say this, when Brady complained, there were no penalties called in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, to start the fourth quarter, there was a flag. Flags were the big story on Thursday night. If that continues on Sunday afternoon, the NFL may have a real problem on its hands. If you're going to complain about holding, then you can't, do the opposite and then all of a sudden say, hey, that should have been a hold on the other team. I'm just looking, I had no, stake in the game last night. I just want to watch a game without it being interrupted. And it feels like, last night, holding. And, is it egregious? You can call holding, but I want you to call holding when it really matters. Like if it's an obvious hold and you have to call it, then call it. But if you're going to go out of your way and go, you know what, I'm going to call holding. And I'm all for the defense getting a break here too. But there are times when you're watching and you go, do you really need to call that? I know it's a tough job, but also I need to have some flow here. And you do not have a flow in a football game. And granted, the odds weren't great that we were going to have a great game. And Jacksonville ended up winning that comfortably. And I got a lot of questions about the game itself, not just the officiating. Yes, McLovin.
So I had a snarky poll option. What's the one factor that made last night so bad? Thursday night football in general, which I think is a strong factor. Those games are always bad. Rain, offensive holding, or just AFC South matchups in general?
Well, I think the Titans got to look at their quarterbacking situation here. And Marcus Mariota, this is a make or break year. Because this is where you go from, hey, maybe you're a franchise quarterback to, I think you're a backup quarterback. And then they traded for Ryan Tannehill. He came in last night. I don't think he's the answer, but he might be an upgrade over Marcus Mariota. That Jacksonville defense is still Saxonville. They were great last night. Jalen Ramsey, still a great cornerback. Maybe he still wants out. Didn't want to talk about it after the game. I understand that. This is what I thought. How about this as a novel approach? You get Jalen Ramsey, his agent, and then you get Tom Coughlin, if you want to get Doug Marone in there, whoever you want to get in there. What do you want to do here? Like we love how you play. We don't love the histrionics. We don't like all of this other stuff here. Can you survive here and just play football? Because he might say, look, you guys said some things that were mean. He stormed out of a meeting and then demanded the trade because somebody said something mean about him or disrespected him. Okay, you're a wonderful player. And you would think you got another great corner on that team. Boye is really talented. I don't know. Those are things that you build off of. They're young players, but Tom Coughlin doesn't put up with any nonsense here. But I would think, why not just sit together and say, can we work this out? Do you want to work? That's how I'd start it. I'd say, Jalen, do you want this to work out? And then if he says, no, I don't. Okay, then you end the conversation. I'm guessing, just guessing, if you say to Jalen, we're going to make you the highest paid cornerback in the league, does that end this? And I don't think it does because of his personality. His idol is Deion Sanders. I think you're too far down the road with Jalen Ramsey. And unfortunately, I don't think you can keep him. I don't think he wants to stay. And that's sad because he should be there with Jacksonville. They should be competing for the AFC South. And maybe they still will. But I don't think that they're going to be able to salvage this.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.